start this morning. Guess which numbskull left the ignition on, and the battery went flat overnight. So what I'll do now, I'll just rip around most of the traps on this first part of the line here, and where I have seen some tracks, and just check there's not a dog right here, and then I'll get over to the property 3 and start setting a few more there. I just got a call from the next door neighbour. It's a property 3, another great young country lad, and he said they've been seeing quite a few dogs there too. So they said if you want to come in through the far end of the property and set some traps there, get into it. So we've got a lot of area. This next block is huge, it's massive. So I think overall we're probably on close to 300 or maybe a little bit over 300,000 acres of country now. So we'll need, I think I've got 95 sets, 95 traps, and we'll try and just work as just a rolling pattern. So as we catch dogs and seem to, shut an area down, I'll pull those traps after say a week and get them into the next area, and just leapfrog from one patch to the next. And we'll try and do 16, 17 days straight. So it's always a good test when you've dragged the drag around behind the vehicle and left some scent on the road. Every time you can see a really good sandy patch come up ahead of you, just pull up and see if there's fresh tracks over the top of the drag. That gives you a definite timeline. You know that dog has been there since the evening before. We've got a dog here for sure on this squeaker. You can see where it's circled around. You can see tracks there in the dust everywhere. It's circled around. It's in front of the camera, so we should have some good photos there. But it hasn't committed. Might just leave it. Might just take a couple more days for it to go that next step. You're showing interest in, Brandon. We're on property 3 now. We're heading down below the house. This is where they said they've had a dog coming in pretty close here, right close. So come into the first set. Got a dog. We've got one straight there. First set. First night. What do you reckon, dogs? Hey, what do you reckon? Sit, Mossy. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. Come on, Brandon, let's have a look. No, Brandon, no. So what's going to interest me is if there are other tracks here. There's a track on the road there. I didn't have a camera here, but there's one. No, there's one on top of it there. We could have a second dog here, but anyway, we'll set again and see. It could be tracks of this dog as it came in, as it approached this trap. But it could quite easily be another one. Got more sets up here anyway. Let's go and check them. Good dogs. Full paw catch again with the Jake. Dave and Tracy Randall. Big strong male dog. Yep. That was just on that little bush. We put it at the base of that little bush with a drag. Just simply on a wire strop. Tried on a drag. Jake trap. And that was with a few drops of Magna Gland on that bush. Work well. It's always good to get an easy one. First morning on property 3. That trap's only been in, overnight. And, less than 24 hours. So the scent was still very strong on it. My human scent around it. And no gloves. Nothing fancy, nothing flash. Just a good solid set on a drag. The 2 drops of Magna Gland on the leaves of that bush. Number 5. Okay. First tracks here. Big dog. Maybe it's not the one. Could be 2, I think. 2 dogs. Yep. These sets here. For some reason it looks like these sets down here didn't work. Sit. Right, it's gone right along the vehicle line. Nowhere else. It would appear that dog's come straight along the track. Now it might be the one we've got on the front already. It could be him that's come straight through. If so, it can be chasing a ghost. He's just missed this one. This was just on dog scat. What I will do though is I'll put some scent on the ground here, some fermented horse's hoof in gravel. So it's soaked up all the juice and everything. It's just gravel, and what I usually do is just sprinkle it across the ground, just so if a dog's coming through fast, it goes, oh, what was that back there? It comes back and starts to sniff the area, and then we'll find the other lure that you've put out most times. Stuff stinks. Okay, just get a little bit of it. Look at that dirt. Sprinkle it here. And we'll get that dog. If it's another dog here, I want it to pull up and search this area and find that. Noticed something on top of the wheel mark. Look out, dog, sit. We get out here, and we do have a small set of tracks. This isn't a big dog. Okay. I was back in Canada. I say that's old Wiley coyote, but it's not. It's here. Not a big dog. This is a good place, a good head of a tree here. I'll set up something here, might even set up a trail camera up over here. Right, probably 2 traps, one here, one over there. I was going to put up some cattle guard here, some sticks up and try and stop them, but I think I'll just leave it as it is and hope that the cattle don't wreck it. Hopefully far enough away in the far corner of this paddock, fingers crossed. So I put a trap here, a trap there. I've used my DG lure over here, and I've used some Magna Gland over here. Put a squeaker on the right hand side one and a trail camera up in the middle. So we're loaded. This is a loaded set. Aussie. No, not sitting on my lap. No, get over to your side. Now, regular viewers will recognise this place. We've caught a few dogs in here. So let's see if we can make it happen again. We've caught a few here, eh, Brandon? Hey? Over in that side over here. Over here. I see tracks straight away. Tracks there. Track there. You gonna show me where? Oh. That looks like the spot. Good dogs. Good dogs. Good girl, Mossy. Good girl, Mossy. Good girl, Mossy. Where else? Where else? Hunt him up. Hunt him up. Hunt him up. I wish I knew what was going through your head, little girl. Okay, I'll sit by this tree over here. That's definitely a spot the dogs showed a lot of interest in. Mossy showed a lot of interest on the road for some reason there, right on the track. But we'll have cattle going through here, so we'll have to be careful. Yeah, I'll just put a little bit of time into it and come up with a devious plan. Right, we'll just go with 2 traps here. I'll go one right here on a tussock beside the road with a bit of bitch's urine, and the next one up on that marking tree. I've put it there and just left it as a marking tree, and I've just put a little twig with a little drop of magna gland up about 2 feet off the ground, I suppose. And that's Brandon's pick over there, eh? That's your pick, Brandon, right? Let's see. Right, we're coming down into the creek set where the 3-way is. This is where I had high hopes we might pick up a dog here. We'll get underneath this. Oh, that's tight. Scraping the air cleaner. That's tight. Nothing. No. Put that set over here in that log. Nothing. Oh. Early days yet. Come back to the trap scratching set, and I hadn't seen any tracks on this, dog tracks on the road down here at all. I got to there and here's a big set of tracks. Right? I come here to where we've set the, I've set a trap. I put dog urine up in this little clump of grass there, and I've had a dog that's just scratched all dirt. He stood and scratched dirt back over the trap and over the scent. Okay, game on. The trap's there, screwed down. Very good, righto. And we'll put another one in here. Right, I've tried to mix it up a little bit here. Put a dig hole on one side there, and I'll put a little bit of scent in that dig hole. And I'll put a blind trap to one side of it, because I think if this dog is going to do this to that trap set, it'll probably do it to each one. But if I put a dig hole there and put something pretty obvious there for it to sniff, I think it'll come and dig at that. Now, I've got a blind trap where I'm hoping it'll stand while it's digging. Same over here. I've put an old Coke can I found here with no colour in it, just an old aluminium can. And I've put it here beside a dog scat, so it's visible, and some scratch marks underneath it. Hoping again that this dog will come and look at it from a distance, stand and look at it, won't go close, will try and scratch the Coke can. And if it's doing so, I've got a trap set in where the dirt is flung back from where I've scratched, if that makes sense. I've got it in the base of those scratch marks. So 2 blind traps and the other trap set where it was before. Hello. Well, we're back where we got the 2 dogs yesterday. Let's see if we can get another hit at this pack. All quiet. Oh well. It may have only been those two dogs there. I thought they might have been part of that pack of 4, but that's been seen probably about 10 k's from here. So it could quite easily be a completely different pack. And as my great uncle John Clark would say, I dinna ken. I simply don't know. I see something there. I'll just turn around and have a closer look. I see something there that's pretty interesting. If it is what I think it is. Sit. That there is classic dingo kill, right? Big old buckaroo in a water hole. So what would have happened is they've picked him up out here somewhere. That is probably this pack of 4 that I'm trying to find. They picked him up and they probably lapped him round the flat here, and he's gone to water. Unfortunately for this roo, he's only found shallow water, only water like this deep, and he couldn't really defend himself. You get a big old buckaroo like that gets in a deep water hole, he'll swim out, he'll only be, you know, his head and shoulders there, and if a dog or a dingo goes after him in the water, he'll grab him and drown him, bite him and drown him, and defend himself like that. Here he wouldn't be able to, it's too shallow. So they've killed him. There's dog tracks all around the bank there. That's a classic dingo kill. But I remember when I was growing up, I was out on our property. I probably would have been about 12 or 13, and the next door neighbour, he lost 4 dogs. He came to Dad and he said, "Do you think, you know, what would have happened?" He said, "I found my 4 working dogs all floating dead in this water hole." And Dad just said to him, they run into a big buckaroo like this, and working dogs having fun attacking him, and that big roo just got him and drowned this one, drowned the next one, and the 4 dogs were floating in the water hole. This time, the dingoes won. Right, I'm going to try a set here, one set off the end of it. Pigs will probably wreck it, but there's fresh enough sign there to say something's been back there last night, so I might get a younger dog. What I'll do is I'm just going to put a wire strop on this and throw it out in the water so it's out of the road, and I'm going to set one of these traps in the mud just this side of the tail there, where it's going to chew at the tail. Okay, a rough, quick set, you never know. Okay, I'm back in the bed rig. I'll just leave the trailer out here in the paddock with the Suzuki tonight. Rip around, check the last few traps with this thing. And I'll come back and start here really early in the morning. Otherwise, I just can't get everything shifted before dark by myself. Them's the joys of working multiple properties. Sometimes you just get caught out, you know, a bit short-handed. Anyway, it'll be alright.